What's good, Raider Nation? Chef Mike's back. I got some friends with me today. We're gonna do some ribs. We talked about this before, throwing down some ribs, a couple different styles. Obviously the 3-2-1 method is one of the most popular styles, but we're gonna show you two different, totally different techniques. I got my friend Ryan here, and I got Brenda. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Good, good. So first off, nice ribs. You got two, what are they, baby backs today?
Back.
Okay, perfect. So let's go get into the rub. I mean, what technique are you guys gonna show me today?
Okay, so the rub we made is, it's basically, it sounds like a lot of sugar, but it's about 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 3/4 cup of regular sugar, and then a ton of seasoning. So 2 tablespoons each of coffee powder, cumin, paprika, chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper, of course. And then you just mix it all together, and I just put it in a Tupperware deal like this to preserve it, but then also when you're ready to use it, you can just shake it up, because with the brown sugar it does form some clumps.
Yes, it does.
And then you're good to go. You can just sprinkle it on.
All right, so first thing, Ryan, with this, on these baby backs, I know some of them come with the back membrane off already.
Right.
This one, we did have to take that membrane off. And if you guys haven't done that before, super easy. I showed Ryan a cool little method. You just grab a nice little spoon, you stick it right on you go along the bone line. And as soon as you go on that bone line, you can pull up and that whole membrane literally just peels right off. So that was pretty easy. So we're gonna go ahead and season these up real quick and get them ready for the grill.
Okay, so normally I take the olive oil here, or this is avocado oil actually. So just a little bit, you really don't need all that much. It's just to make the...
Kind of a binder.
Yeah, make the rub adhere to the ribs. So just rub that in a little bit. I'll just start with the back side. Get it all the way on the edges, the corners. Just like that. And then I'm gonna take just a little bit here. Probably should have done, normally you'll do a dry hand, wet hand kind of method, but I wasn't even thinking about it.
It's all good.
There's room for errors here.
Hey, you know what? Like I said, it's gonna stick somehow.
Yep. Just take it, kind of get it in there.
God, it smells delicious.
Yeah, it's got a little flavor in that rub. The sugar gives it a nice caramelization, but all the seasoning in it really flavors the ribs. So a lot of that sugar melts away when you cook it.
And we tried this rub just a couple days ago too, and it blew me out of the park.
Perfect. Can't wait. We have some hungry tasters here today too that are waiting to try some food. We're bringing in my friend Eric. We got Carrie here. We're gonna try some ribs. We'll see them later.
So you're gonna lose a little bit of seasoning there when you flip them over, but that's all right. So I'm gonna take a little bit more of this oil, just get it on there.
Have you guys tried using any other binders? Like maybe I've seen mustard. I've seen
Sriracha. I've tried quite a bit of different ways, but honestly, you won't taste that mustard in the end, or the sriracha will give you just a little bit more of that kick. But
I see it a lot in the, smoking techniques. A lot of people use mustard, and I love mustard, but a lot of people are like scared to try it just because they say, "Oh, it's mustard." But literally, the flavors. If you got seasoning like this, you're not going to taste the mustard at all. So how long do you think once you get the rub on there, you want to let this sit before you put them on the grill?
Probably about 10 minutes, I'd say. You can normally really see when the moisture is coming through the rub, and that's when you know that the rub is really adhered to the ribs.
Awesome. And you can, have you ever tried like overnight too? Putting them in there and kind of letting them sit overnight and seeing what that flavor does. I love sampling stuff like that just to see if it just makes it more intense or.
It probably would.
Yep. And what method are we going to be doing today? We're going to be doing grill.
So he's gonna take them out and smoke them.
Oh, okay.
And he's going on the charcoal grill.
Okay.
And then bring them back in and do a little bit more of a technique and get them wrapped up and throw them back on.
Awesome.
So he'll be showing you that.
So we got some charcoal grilling today.
Yeah, so essentially it's going to be kind of a hot and fast method, but with another method I'm going to use here that you'll see here in about 30 minutes, 45 minutes is I'm going to wrap them in tin foil, and that's how you get them nice and tender. So
perfect.
This is what the ribs will kind of look like after you get them seasoned, but you kind of want to wait a little while and you'll see the moisture kind of pop through, and that's when you know it's actually on there.
Sweet. Well, I heard, Brenda, that you guys brought a nice little sauce we're going to do too for these.
Yeah,
Awesome. So we're gonna go let these rest a little bit, and we're gonna bring the ingredients out. We're gonna make a sauce for you guys real quick too to go on these nice ribs. So we'll be right back, guys. All right, Brenda, we're back. Let's talk about this amazing sauce you guys made.
Okay, so it's kind of a Kansas City style sauce using Coca-Cola or any kind of cola. So we basically start with opening up a can and you dump the whole thing in there.
Perfect. I've seen people use root beer and stuff too. It's pretty crazy.
This one's just a little less sweet using the root beer because there are other sweet ingredients that go in there.
Oh, perfect.
And then you add about a whole cup and a half of ketchup. Oh, I guess I have not opened
Here, I'll open that for you. Gotcha.
But in the meantime, I can add some onion powder. You want to add about a tablespoon or so of onion powder. And then once you get the sauce going, you can kind of figure out what extra you need to add and that kind of stuff. If you need more of one thing, less of one thing. There's those fun sounds of squirt bottles.
Yeah, ketchup is like a ketchup, brown sugar. That's like a couple of key ingredients to your any kind of barbecue sauce.
Yep. That's probably about a cup and a half right there.
Perfect.
And then we're gonna add a little bit of Worcestershire. About the same thing, about a tablespoon. Again, I have not opened that one yet.
Where's our prop guy? Come on now, jeez.
Should have checked those. And then a little bit of salt, probably just about a teaspoon to start with. And now we'll get that Worcestershire in there, or Worcestershire, however you say it. About a tablespoon of that.
You know, it's funny that you didn't take those off because all night I bought a couple different seasonings. I'm like, I got to take these things off because I'm going to forget, and I'm just going
I didn't even think about it.
But you know what? It's camera. It's awesome.
Yeah, and then about a teaspoon to start of the liquid smoke, because that stuff's got a lot of kick.
Oh yes, yes it
A lot of
does.
flavor. And then same with the garlic powder as with the onion powder. You want to add about a tablespoon of that.
Nice thing about making sauces like this too is you can change up the flavors a lot. So
Yeah.
kind of getting the base ingredients in there, getting it going, because obviously when it starts cooking and all these flavors start marrying together, you're gonna be like, okay, I need a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that.
Exactly.
So this is kind of a good base.
Yep. And then we've got some cayenne because we do have a lot of sweetness. We want to add.
Nice heat.
I know you don't always like a lot of spice, but I add about a tablespoon or so to start with. And then also, even though we've got that sweet Coke,
Some molasses.
a little bit of molasses. It just gives
Oh,
it kind of
yeah.
a deepness of flavor. And about a tablespoon of that to start.
And for everybody out there that wants to experiment with something like this and you haven't tried making your own barbecue sauce, believe it or not, it's not that hard. Like I said, if you put those basic ingredients in there, you can change this all up. I mean, I once made a blueberry barbecue sauce with a blueberry Samuel Adams beer, which was amazing too. And I did that on some pulled pork. So I'm telling you, literally, you can just sample it, and it's not that much. It's not
Yeah.
hard. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. I
So-
don't remember if we put onion powder in, but it probably doesn't hurt to try again.
I think you put just a little. I could smell it right when you did it.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, won't put too much in there. And then an ingredient that I really like, and it also helps take down a lot of that sweetness, is espresso powder.
Ooh.
So put about a tablespoon of that to start. And again, once it cooks down, you can kind of sample it and see what you need more or less of.
Espresso. That's
then
that's a cool ingredient. I've
also-
seen that used on a lot of steaks too.
Yeah, and it was in the rub as well, so it kind
Oh.
of marries those flavors. And then about a quarter cup of brown sugar.
Perfect.
And that's kind of what we use to start, and then we can tweak it as we go.
Awesome. Well, we'll get this on the flame. We'll get it cooking up. I know your son Ryan's out there already got
Yep,
the grill going. It
checking the
smells
grill.
great already. So once we get this on here, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the ribs out. I'm going to show you kind of the method that you guys got going on. Then we're going to come back in and we're going to flip it all the way to the east side. We're going to go Asian style on the ribs. So hope you're ready.
It's gonna be good. I'm excited about those.
All right, guys, we'll be right back.
Are you looking for a new dish to make? Or maybe you want to try a new approach to your favorite meals? Then we invite you to subscribe to Chef Mike's YouTube channel. With dozens of videos to choose from, there's a dish for everyone. Subscribe today and hit the notification bell for new updates.
All right, guys, we're back. Tell us what we got going on here. Looks like you got your chimney nice and hot here.
I do, yeah. So I threw in some briquettes and I threw just a little fire starter underneath there and then got these nice and hot. You want to wait till they ash over just a little bit.
Okay.
And then once they are, you can just dump them. I like to dump them off to one side because I'm going to do a direct and indirect cook here. So if I go off to one side, then I'm able to split the difference.
Perfect.
So I'm going to set that off to the side there, let that cool down.
So basically what Ryan's talking about is that indirect, direct heat is when you get this on there and you want your ribs to be cooked directly on the flame and get that nice char on them, you're gonna go straight to your briquette side. But if you're smoking, generally a lot of people like to put their wood on the one side and then you put your ribs on the other side, so you kind of get that indirect heat, so it's still cooking, but it's not like on actual flame. So what kind of wood are we using?
This is pecan wood
Ooh.
that I have soaking in water. I'm just gonna take a couple chunks. You really don't need all that much. I'm gonna just pick the larger chunks here. Just put them right over the coals.
Perfect.
That's all you gotta do.
So pecan's awesome wood too because it's really neutral. It's not a heavy smoke. I use it a lot for my pork bellies and all that stuff. It's just amazing stuff. So, all right. So once we get that on, we're gonna go ahead and get the grate on there.
Yeah. This grate is a little dirty, so I'm gonna take some time to let this heat up just a little bit so I can scrub that grate down.
Perfect. Yeah, Ryan was nice enough to bring his own grill here, as we need more. We got plenty here, but I don't have one of these, so it's awesome. So we're gonna clean this up real quick. We're gonna get these ribs on, and then how long do you think you're gonna go on this for? Are you gonna go indirect first?
I'm gonna go indirect first for about 30 minutes, and I'm gonna take them off and show you guys a different method so I can get the ribs nice and tender.
Perfect. We'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, we're back. So a couple things we're gonna do first. Like I said, we're gonna bring kind of a Asian flair on these ribs. I got my Ninja going here. We're gonna do it on air fry. So I got it nice and warmed up, all ready to go. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna make our sauce, and this is gonna be what we're gonna cook the ribs in. This meal literally takes about 40 minutes. So that's what we like. We're gonna do one style that's gonna cook fast. We're also gonna do this one, because generally ribs do take some time. So what we got here is, I just got my little glass here, and we got some chicken stock in there, and I use low sodium chicken stock, and I kind of 50-50'd it with water. So I got that in here to start. We're gonna go in with some sugar, and this is about 3 tablespoons of sugar. And we got a couple of things here. We got some mirin, which is a rice wine. If you don't have this, you can use just white cooking wine as well. So I'm just gonna do 1 tablespoon of that. I'll do some rice vinegar. This we'll do 2 tablespoons of. Like we were talking earlier about making barbecue sauces, vinegar is another key thing to it. So a little vinegar in there. And like I said, for the actual low sodium, I've got some light soy sauce. I love this stuff. You can buy it at most Asian marts. So I'm gonna go on with 4 tablespoons of this. We're basically making almost like a teriyaki sauce that are gonna go on these ribs. And I'm telling you one thing, I've made these ribs several times for friends and family, and there isn't one single person that doesn't beg for the recipe when they get done. So this is nice that we're gonna be able to do this in front of everybody, so that way everybody can stop asking me for this, they can watch it. And we got just a little heat like she had. Instead, I'm gonna go with the sriracha, which is very, very hard to find right now, just so you know. All right. Next thing I got is some cloves of garlic. So I'm gonna set this aside here. We're gonna chop up some garlic. Then I'm gonna add this to there, and then we're gonna peel some ribs. I'm gonna cut them up, and we're gonna throw them in this air fryer here in a second. So I'm gonna chop one of these garlics up, and then I'll let you guys come back. I'm gonna bore you with the garlic chopping. So I just smash here, get that right out of its skin here, like so, and just fine chop. So like I said, I'm not gonna bore you with this. I'm gonna add a little bit of ginger too. Look, paper's out of there. Just a nice little, maybe like a teaspoon of ginger. If you got fresh ginger, you can use that as well. Fresh ginger is very, very, very strong too. So if you do use fresh ginger, don't put too much. I don't know if it's a such thing. It's kind of like too much garlic. It's really never too much. But we're gonna put this in here. Like I said, I'm gonna chop up about 5 to 6 cloves. And then I'm gonna put this in here like that. And then I'm gonna stir this around really good. Because like I said, this is gonna be our sauce. So I'm gonna get the ribs cut up real quick and then we'll be back. I'm gonna stick them in the air fryer. I'm gonna give them 10 minutes at 400 degrees. And that usually gets a nice crust on them. So I'll be back, I'll show you that technique. All right, nation, check out these ribs. So for all you guys out there, obviously you know I'm a Raider fan. I don't know if you watched the game the other day, but Max Crosby put a hurting on Russell Wilson. So I'm gonna dedicate these broken ribs to Russell Wilson today. Hope you're feeling better, bud. Max Crosby got you. So we were talking earlier about how we have this in here. We're going up. See how that spoon, I just followed it down that membrane, or the bone I should say. And you just grab that membrane just like that and yank it right off. A lot of these baby back ribs, like I said, come already peeled, which is nice, but some of them don't. So I just like, you can get a paper towel, which makes it easier too, but I just like peeling that off because that makes it chewy. You don't want the chewiness. If you don't choose to take it off, I've seen boiling methods where you can kind of just give it a couple slices and it should just come right off too. But it's easier just to take it off like that. I mean, you got a spoon, who doesn't have a spoon? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down the bone line here. I'm just gonna cut some riblets. And I got these extra meaty baby backs, which are nice because they're nice and thick. I'm just gonna chop them to the bone. That's what's gonna help them cook a lot faster too. Perfect. Oh, that guy just wants to stay together. We're good. Season them lightly. I'm just gonna go a little lemon pepper, both sides. You don't need any salt or any of that stuff on these because literally we got a lot of salt already in that soy sauce with all that seasoning that I just put inside that nice little sauce that we're gonna be using. So we don't need to add a lot. I just like a little lemon pepper. Then we're gonna go right into our air fryer here. So the air fryer is already preheated. I'm gonna open it up, go directly in here. And what I'm trying to do is, oh, you hear that noise? It's beautiful. You wanna get a nice little crisp on these. 10 minutes is pretty much, I already did this the other day too. We had ribs the other day just to make sure how nice I wanted these crisp. So I'm gonna, like I said, 400 pounds is perfect, or 400 pounds, 400 degrees, 10 minutes, that's all you need. Then we're gonna transfer those over to the pan and I'll show you guys how to assemble all that. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a new dish to make? Or maybe want to try a new approach to your favorite meals? Then we invite you to subscribe to Chef Mike's YouTube channel. With dozens of videos to choose from, there's a dish for everyone. Subscribe today and hit the notification bell for new updates.
All right, guys, so I got these, I got the grill heated up here. I cleaned off the grill. I got it running about 475 degrees because I'm gonna have this running hot. I'm gonna do a quick and hot method here. So I have the airflow completely open on the bottom and I'm controlling all of my temp with the top here. That's all you gotta do with that. So I'm gonna open this. Okay, see all that's good. So I'm just gonna grab the ribs, throw them on. So with the way that I'm doing this, I'm gonna put these on here for about 30 minutes, but about 15 minutes, I'm gonna take these ribs and I'm gonna swap them because obviously these ones are gonna be cooking a little bit faster because they're closer to the heat. But I got them on the indirect. At the end, I'm gonna throw them on the direct side, get that char, and it's gonna turn out beautiful.
All right, guys, it smells beautiful in here. 10 minutes just lapsed. Let's come on over. Let's take a look at these ribs. See what we got going on here. Those are beautiful. Another thing that we're doing with these too, and you can actually cook them all directly in this pan if you want to. If you want to put them in here, put a little oil, sear them up. What I'm doing by doing this is avoiding all that oil getting into the sauce. So I want that sauce to be just yumminess and not just full of oil. So this right here, if you look down, it's got a little drip tray on there. So that way everything goes down into the bottom. So that way I'm not stuck with a bunch of grease inside my pan. So I'm gonna put these in here face down, just like so. Then we're gonna get our sauce in here. We're gonna get these on. I usually like to put them about medium heat, so about medium high. Then we're gonna let these go for about another 30 minutes and we should be good. They should fall right off the bone. And then we're gonna make a cool little stir-fry rice. This is something easy. I made some jasmine rice last night, so every time you make rice, if you do save it, the next day is the best time to make a nice stir-fry with it because you want day-old rice. So we're gonna get some bok choy cooking. So we're gonna go ahead and go on here. Get some flame here. You want a lid, so you want something you got a lid with. Got my sauce here. Just like that. Just stir it up, make sure all the sugars blended in there really nicely and all got clumps. I'm gonna go right in here, right all over these ribs here. All right, perfect. Just like that. I'm gonna cover these up now. And like I said, periodically I'm gonna flip them because I want all that stuff to cut all over the ribs and make a nice caramelized rib. So what I'm gonna do is let them go for about 10 minutes covered like this. Then I'm gonna check them, and then you can also baste them. So I'll get a spoon and we'll baste them, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But you're gonna see how these transform color real quickly. All that flavor is just gonna get into those ribs. It's gonna be delicious on top of the rice. I wish you guys can smell the smoke coming from out there, the ribs cooking in here. It's just a clash of everything. So we're gonna be back. We're gonna get to try these ribs, and we're gonna start the stir fry. So let's get that going here. So like I said, we're gonna cut up some carrots here to go into our stir fry. The nice thing about stir fries, any kind of stir fry you do, is whatever you have in your fridge, any vegetable, I mean, you can add it right to it. So we're gonna go ahead and go with this here. And then we're gonna, like I said, I got some jasmine rice that I got here that we're gonna add to this. I got my wok already heating up. Just like so. But also, I got some baby bok choy. I love cabbage. So we're gonna go ahead and cut some of this up too. So, perfect. Got one onion here. Let's chop up. Perfect. So I'm gonna do about half of this guy. Like I say, you can just a coarse chop. I don't need to be all fancy, just a nice little chop like so. Perfect. We're gonna go to the wok here in a second. I'm gonna show you how to assemble this real quick. Normally in a stir fryer, you're gonna use a little bit of either soy sauce or some kind of sauce to put on top of it to toss it around. I'm gonna avoid that with this because we have that teriyaki sauce that's cooking on those ribs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this just clean, add a little bit of salt, which I'll show you. I got an egg here. We'll toss the egg in there and mix it in. And then we'll go back to it and we'll put those ribs on this platter right on top of the rice, and you're gonna have that soy that you need, so you don't really need to add it to the rice. I don't want salt on top of salt, if that makes sense. So we'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna show you how to do this. All right, so to our pan, I'm gonna add a little bit of avocado oil. Crank up the heat a little bit. I'm gonna go in with all of our veggies. Perfect. Season wise, we're gonna just do a little pinch of salt and pepper. Black pepper. Just a little salt for seasoning. Toss this around. Get that all mixed up in there. We want this pan nice and hot. I don't know if you've ever been to any kind of like Chinese buffet or anything where they got the woks cooking, but generally they cook them super hot. You want everything nice and warm because you want that rice to fry and get crispy on the bottom. So I'm gonna give this about, I don't know, a couple minutes just to get the vegetables translucent, and then we're gonna add our rice. See, I got that nice fluffy rice ready to go. That's gonna go right in there. And while you're here, let's take a look at these ribs. Show you what we got going on here. You see how that flavor is going and the ribs are turning? I'm gonna flip these over a little bit. They smell amazing. But as this sauce cooks down, obviously it's gonna get thicker. Flip this over, perfect. All right, perfect. Now we're gonna cover that back up. So we'll do that a couple times during the cooking process, just to make sure that they get fully coated. All right, perfect. Now we're gonna go in with our rice. Gonna break it up. Those beautiful colors going on there. We're gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes, then we're gonna add our egg. So we'll be right back. All right, I'm gonna make a nice little hole right there. Add a little bit more of my avocado oil. Crack an egg right in the center there. And mix this up a little bit. Just like so. And I already tasted this for salt content, so we're good. Just gonna scramble that egg up really nice. You can add as many eggs as you want. I usually add 1 or 2. Now we're going to toss this all together into our rice. Just like that. This is going to be a lovely platform for our ribs. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, just like that. So we're almost done. I know Ryan's been working hard out there getting those ribs ready. So we're almost done. We're gonna come back and we're gonna see where those are at, and then we're gonna get to plating because this are almost done. We literally got probably 20 more minutes if that. So we'll be right back, guys. All right, Ryan, let's see what we got going on here. Ooh, those look good.
Yeah, here's what we got. So essentially what we're trying to do here, we were just trying to get the smoke in these ribs. So about 15 minutes, I flipped them because obviously this rack was so much closer to those coals, so I wanted to make sure that I could disperse it evenly. And then at that 15 minutes, I took this apple cider and mustard spritz, and I just sprayed them down just a little bit. You don't need much, you know, just something little like that, you know, just add an extra flavor. But we got these pretty much ready here to be able to wrap them up. So I'm just gonna pull them off, and then when we go inside, wrap them up. I'll show you how to do that.
Perfect. God, those look delicious. That's quick too. All right, guys, we're back. So Ryan, tell us what we're doing now.
Okay, so I got the ribs here. I'm going to lay down some brown sugar.
Okay.
And that's really gonna add a bunch of flavor to those ribs here. So I'm just gonna lay down, I don't know, what, probably 4 tablespoons, 5 tablespoons, and then I'm gonna add just a drizzle of honey. Just adding flavor to these ribs. That's really all we're doing here.
They smell so good already. I can't even imagine adding more.
I'm just gonna grab these racks and we're gonna lay them meat side down. So when we do that, we're going to
throw some more of this on
yeah,
it.
dump it on there.
Oops, there you go.
Adding just a little bit more honey, and then
put that on here.
add just a little bit more of the seasoning, because you know the bottom side of the ribs is what touches your tongue first. So you want to add just a little bit more of that flavor on there that you initially put on. Just a little bit, you don't need much. Adding that. Then you're just gonna wrap them up. And I got 2 sheets of tinfoil. We're gonna double wrap these. And you just wanna make sure that you're not poking holes in these, because that's gonna, allow for air to get in and steam to accumulate.
Yeah, so that basically helps cook them faster, correct?
Yeah, they're gonna, that brown sugar in the honey is gonna mix with the liquids of the ribs, and it's gonna braise in its own liquids pretty much. You wanna get that real tight, because you don't wanna allow any room for steam, essentially. And that's really just gonna make you lose a little bit of that bark that you got on there already.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
Get them nice and tight.
And then once you wrap them, how long are we gonna go back on the grill
So
for?
we're gonna go back on the grill for about 45 minutes. So let them braise in their liquids, and you can turn out, it's gonna make them tender.
Awesome. Well, while you're wrapping those, my ribs are almost done, so we're gonna go ahead and get to plating on these, and then we're gonna try some food. So we got a couple hungry people here ready to eat, so we'll be back, guys.
Are you looking for a new dish to make? Or maybe want to try a new approach to your favorite meals? Then we invite you to subscribe to Chef Mike's YouTube channel. With dozens of videos to choose from, there's a dish for everyone. Subscribe today and hit the notification bell for new updates.
All right, guys, we are back. It's time to taste some food. First thing I'm gonna do is get a little garnish for my plate here. Just gonna cut some green onions on a bias here. Just like so. Grab our rice. It's all beautiful and stir fried up. This is gonna be our platform for our ribs. Yeah. Tell me that don't look good already. I ain't got ribs on it yet. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. Switch to ribs. Be very careful when you open this up because a lot of steam comes out. Just want to make sure you don't burn your arm. I've done it several times, so I know it hurts. So don't do that. Get my tongs. Look at the color on these ribs. Look delicious. I already heard a yum come out somewhere. Hope you guys are ready to eat. Look at these guys. So you see how that sauce just like magically appeared all over these ribs? It looks so yummy. Just like so. Perfect. Got a few leftovers there. I'm sure they won't be there very long. We're gonna go ahead and go on top with some of these green onions here. Just like that. We got some sesame seeds here. Just like so. And I already asked, they're not scared of sriracha, so we're gonna add a little of that too. I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit on here, just like so. Perfect. All right, we got this going on here. Those look beautiful. Gonna be a hit at any party, I guarantee it. I'm gonna bring back a couple tasters and I'm gonna have Ryan come in because he's the man. I want him to try these out, so we'll be right back with the tasting. All right, guys, we're back. Ryan, what do you think?
Dude, it looks beautiful.
Awesome. So let's take a bite. I want you to try one. Tell me what you think. Tell me what flavors you get right away. And there's some of that rice there. You can
combine a little bit here, man.
There you go. Throw a little rice on top.
Give it a shot here.
It's got a nice little bite to it. So if you want to cook them a little bit more tender too, you can always cook them a little longer, but I like them just with a nice little snap to them still. How those taste?
Dude, I think that sriracha was a big add to that. Dude, they're amazing.
Cool, cool. Well, I can't wait to try yours. So go ahead and dig into that, and I'm gonna have a couple other people come in here and try some, and we'll see what their reactions are.
Cool.
All right, guys, we're back. We got two tasters that really wanted to come. I know this guy, he's like, I'll be there. Let's go. So Carrie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm born and raised here in the Treasure Valley and grew up at my grandparents' restaurant. Just cooked there all my life, but I've been doing mortgages for the past 20 years.
Oh,
I'm a mortgage loan officer at Shoreline Mortgage.
Awesome. Eric?
I've been around the valley for about 13 years. I got a lovely wife and 3 kids out here. I do mobile power washing for myself, Grind and Shine Solutions. We've known Mike for a very long time and enjoyed his food every chance we get.
Awesome. So let me tell you what we're eating. We got some ribs here, and it's kind of a little Asian style, so it's a little teriyaki mix that we made. I know you smelt it. What did you think about the techniques?
I had never seen it done like that before, with both the air fryer and then putting it in the pan with the sauce. I'm super excited to try it.
So before, while we were cooking this stuff, and she's on the side telling me she has an air fryer and she didn't know that she could do this kind of stuff with it. I love my air fryer. I use it all the time. So I want you to go ahead and dig in, guys. I'll stop talking and let you guys dig in. So,
Sounds good.
Throw it in.
yep.
Oh, thank you. Go for it. So good.
Rice is delicious.
Yeah, the rice, like I said, super easy. You seen that? I mean, that's literally seconds.
Yeah. And even though it was in the sauce, like you still kind of get that, the fried part from the air fryer.
Yep, from the
yeah.
air fryer, just a nice little crisp.
Yep.
That is delicious.
So that's why I put them in the air fryer, just to give it that nice little caramelization that I want. So that way all those seasonings like Ryan was doing with his, adhering the spice to it, that gives it just a little bit of, I like that lemon pepper just because it gives it that citric acid
yeah.
that it needs. So it gives it that nice taste.
Definitely taste the different seasonings you put in here. Absolutely.
That was the sriracha taste. You need that little kick on it, huh? Cool.
It's good. It's not strong, but it just gives it that, yeah.
Cool.
Delicious.
Right on. Well, you guys dig in. Like I said, we'll be back, guys. Ryan's is coming off the grill here. I'm excited to try them. I can't wait. So we'll be back here shortly.
Are you looking for a new dish to make? Or maybe want to try a new approach to your favorite meals? Then we invite you to subscribe to Chef Mike's YouTube channel. With dozens of videos to choose from, there's a dish for everyone. Subscribe today and hit the notification bell for new updates.
All right, guys, we're back. Ryan, these look amazing. Let's go ahead and cut these bad boys up so we can eat.
Okay, I'm just gonna pull these out. I'm gonna leave them meat side down so I can see the bones. I'm gonna cut those adequately there.
Ooh, you can hear that snap too on these. It's gonna be a great combination with that corn. Looks yummy. It's crazy how fast you got that nice little ring there too. You got that nice little smoke ring.
Yeah.
I see your eyes a little teary. You must have got some smoke too, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was getting smoked out there. So we're just gonna plate these. Yeah, got a little tear there. That's fine.
We got a couple people who are still ready to try some more ribs too, so still got a whole nother rack on there too.
Got a little bit through here.
Man, those look delicious.
Throw them in the back off that extra 2 minutes that goes on that.
Yeah, it gives it that nice little color that you want, the caramelization.
And we're just gonna top it off just a little bit more sauce.
Beautiful. So you got some green onions too to top them. That's one thing that's nice about ribs. Just a little bit of green onions. I don't know what it is about them, but they taste delicious on there. Beautiful.
Sprinkle a little bit of green onion. That's it.
Amazing. Cool. Well, we're going to dig in here shortly and we'll bring somebody back here, a couple people to try this. Thanks again, like I said, for coming. I'm going to bring you back here in a second. We'll say goodbye to everybody. There's something else we want to say to you too, so we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, we're back. You guys ready for a different style of rib?
So ready.
All right, let's do this. Go ahead and take a bite. Let's get in there. Go ahead, Eric.
Go for it.
Get on in there.
Wow.
Ton of flavor so quick,
Oh my
huh?
gosh, yes, so good.
Yeah, I literally couldn't wait. I had to take a bite already and try
That
it. So
sauce has a nice kick to it. The ribs are nice and tender and juicy.
Falling off the bone is so good.
Perfect. Now let's dip into that corn real quick and see what that tastes like. It looks
I'm busy
delicious.
with just ribs.
So we just showed two different styles completely, guys. I mean, both easy, fast, something that you would maybe try at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely try them both.
Perfect. And like I said, ribs are fairly cheap. I mean, these baby backs literally cost about $8 a rack, somewhere in between there, and you could feed an army with these.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
so if you got people coming over and you want a nice football game going on, you can actually put these on the grill, take a couple hours, just like we've seen. I've never seen them cook this fast, honestly, and be that tender and delicious.
Yeah.
So good job, Brian. That's hands down.
Definitely.
And you don't
good.
have to stand in the kitchen the whole time.
Correct.
Yeah, this is so good. It's got the citrusy from the tagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tagine is very tasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cheese in the mayo.
that tahine brings out flavor. Like I
does.
said, anything with the citric acid in just a little bit just brings out those flavors of the naturalness. And that grilling of the corn with that char on there is just delicious.
Yeah.
So
So good.
thanks a lot, Brenda, for those too. All right, guys. I'm gonna let you continue to eat. We're gonna close this out real quick, and we'll be right back, guys.
Thank you.
All right,
All right.
Ryan, come in here. Sorry, he's got a mouthful of rib. So, yep.
So my son turned 25 this week, and we didn't get to see him on his birthday.
So we decided to have him on the show to do this awesome food, and we also want to say happy birthday, man. And it was
Thank you.
Nice
Thank you so
meeting you,
much.
and I hope I can have you on the show a lot more. And like I said, we got some beautiful cupcakes here she made. What'd you make?
They're just like a Mexican chocolate cupcake with a little bit of peanut butter in the middle. So he's always liked chocolate, so there you go.
Perfect. Well, let's get this out without burning myself. That way you can sit, you got to blow the wish out there. Say happy birthday to him.
Try not to blow ribs all over it.
Yep. Right on. Well, happy birthday, brother. And like I said, thanks for showing up, guys. And I appreciate the tasters. I know you guys are welcome anytime you guys want to come in. I told Brenda that. She's been here a few times already too. So like I said, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get this to go as far out as we possibly can. So if you don't hit that subscribe button, I don't keep making these shows. I'm doing it for you guys. So like I said, thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming out.
Always amazing food.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.